What's up, Sea Dogs? Captain Kai here. We got ourselves a massive project to do today. It's going to take a lot of prep work, a lot of digging, a lot of resource collecting. This is going to be a big one. So get yourself a nice beverage, probably one of those ones with a little umbrella in it, and let's get this underway. Check this out. Look how big this is. Wow. You may be wondering what this is all for, and that's a very good question. Didn't you say that you were gonna make everything all practical and whatnot in the first episode? Yes, I did. Am I gonna be breaking that rule? Absolutely. This is going to be a mob farm. You may remember in the last episode, whenever I went on a complete dopamine-fueled mob-killing rampage in here, after I got my elytra wings and killed the dragon, I mentioned a little something about building a mob farm down here. I could have built this mob farm somewhere else, but I got a little bit curious about if I could make this possible. Wherever like the mossy ground is, you can only get about 2 spawning platforms out of wherever that's at. 2 good ones. So that kind of limited me to not be able to build vertically, which is what's pretty typical. This one, I'm going to have to build it horizontally. I want to get these platforms built out real quick so you can kind of get an idea of where I'm going with this, and then I'll meet back up with you for the designing. Alright guys, so I finished the spawning platforms. Each of them have 2 layers, and I actually got the inspiration for this from Ilmango's single water source mob spawner from his 4x4 series, and I'll link that down below. I actually already finished one of the spawning platforms, so I can give you guys an example of what I'm trying to show you guys. And I wanted to make use of the glazed terracotta, heavily underappreciated, heavily underused. You can do some pretty cool stuff with it, like I've done here. Many people probably don't know that textures and colors often match with the terracotta. Like you can see here, the brown terracotta and the cyan terracotta, they have a matching color right here. And you can also find matching textures like the green and the light gray. They match up here. And with that knowledge, you can do something like this, where you have a lot of transitions and you could do something very ornate and unique. So you can use this to make like wall art, you can do ceiling design, or maybe you can even do something like this yourself. I really want y'all's feedback on this and see what you think. I thought it was pretty cool, but I'm curious what you guys think. And I'm also curious about any suggestions you guys have, like ideas, what you would do with something like this. So please comment that down below. So to show you guys how this works, I place this block here, and basically from the ceiling there's going to be an armor stand that goes around in a loop and activates dispensers that drop water down here, and I'll show you what happens when that will happen. So the water spreads over the platform, flushing the mobs out, and on these stairs it diverts the water down onto the bottom platform. I'll go down below so you can see that for yourself, and that'll go all the way to the end and push the mobs off the end of the platform. Up on the ceiling up here I have trapdoors, and that'll make it so that we get more gunpowder, more string, and less of this garbage. I wanted to do that on top as well, and that would help make it just creeper string farm, and that's really what we're after from this, but it would kill the look that I'm going for, where I want to be able to see the pretty designs from the terracotta from the top. Another issue I'm causing is Endermen are going to be able to spawn on these platforms, but I'm hoping that isn't a huge issue and everything will be okay. But if it gets too excessive, I might end up having to put a ceiling on the top just so that we can prevent that. But yeah, I'll meet back up with you guys whenever I get more progress done and you can see more of what I'm going for. Alright guys, so I finished the terracotta on all the segments except for this last one. I noticed whenever I was doing the first few segments that it was taking me a very, very long time to do those segments. So I wanted to save this last one to do on camera, because if you're doing this along with me, I don't want you to have to go through taking an excruciatingly long amount of time to make one of these designs. So I found a strategy that I'm going to show you guys so that it doesn't take you guys as long to make these art pieces. So when I was doing it in the beginning, I was placing like, okay, here's my first terracotta, my first glazed terracotta, and then I get another one and I build off of that, and I just build off of that block as I go. But I found out that that was taking me much longer than it needed to. So to get started with this new way of doing it, you're going to want to get yourself any terracotta. I think it's best to start with the blue glazed terracotta, and I'm just going to go randomly placing this just all around, just jumping around, placing it everywhere. It doesn't matter where you place it, it's not going to make a big difference. Now, if you start with me with the blue terracotta, you're going to want to get yourself the light blue glazed terracotta, and you're going to want to go around it, that first blue terracotta, and just place them in a nice pattern, like right there. Place it however you want, try and make it match. But reason I go into the light blue terracotta is because this one has a matching color. The blue and the light blue, they have a matching color. So when you're doing this, you just want to make sure that you're going in an order in which they have a matching color. And if you mess up like that, just break it, replace it. Next up, you're going to want to go in with the white, because it has a matching color with the light blue. See? So just place these however you want them. Just try and get it around the light blue. As long as you have the right order, this is going to come out well. You want to get yourself the yellow, because it has a matching color right there with the yellow. Now, what matches with the yellow is going to be your brown. This one's a little bit more tricky. You got to line it up right. There we go. Now you can see the matching brown. And the next match is going to be your cyan. Next up is going to be your light gray. So next up is going to be a little bit of an oddball. You're going to get green with the light gray. They have a matching texture like that. And it helps you transition from your blues to colors like the greens. Next up, get yourself the orange glazed. They have matching textures with the cyan, and you can just place these in whatever you got a gap. Next, grab your lime because it'll match with your green. It'll also match with your yellow, which is good as well. So you can throw that there and it looks perfectly fine. And a great thing about the lime is really however you place it, you're going to get a pretty good design. Now a good one to go in with is your grays because that's going to match your cyan. Alright, a good match for your gray is next going to be your black terracotta. They have a matching gray. You can see it right there. And not that big a deal, just place that in. Next up, grab your red. Perfect transition, see? Not too worried about the direction on these. I know they have the little lines at the end, but it's not a big deal. Red is going to be pretty powerful, so you might want to ease up on the red just a little bit. Next up, grab yourself some of the pink terracotta. And this one is great for just filling in gaps. It matches with the colors of a lot of the other terracottas. It'll work great with them. So you can just kind of plop them in wherever you want them and it'll look great. Now you're going to go back and fill in gaps where you missed some spots. Another thing you can do is you can put the gray by the light gray. That still looks good as well. You can grab yourself maybe more of the cyan. The cyan just really matches with a lot of the different stuff going on. Maybe give myself more of the blue and do a second diamond like right there. Maybe more yellow. Who knows? World's your oyster. Maybe grab myself more of the green. Green, perfect. Get yourself the more light gray. This one's probably going to be your easiest one to mix in. Maybe some of this stuff right here. Looks great. And last block, let's just throw red. Actually, no. Already two reds over there. Is there pink? Nope. Perfect. There we go. We have a platform. That's how you can do it much more efficiently. You're going to end up spending hours and hours and hours just trying to get these things done if you don't have a strategy in place and you're just going off of one block. So I highly recommend you do it this way. So now that we got all the platforms done, next thing to do is we want to get the lightning rods on each of these platforms. And then we're going to get started on making the armor stand activation system with the dispensers. So I'll meet back with you once we're up there. Alright guys, it's been a while since the last clip. A lot has happened. Yeah. It feels like I'm starting a new episode. I'm sorry about this. I know you probably shouldn't have your episodes as just progress updates, but this is a really big project I'm undertaking. I don't want to separate this into multiple parts, into multiple videos. So, to keep this somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes, this is just how it has to be. So, you might notice right away I was talking about having an armor stand activation system, and that's not what you see right here. It's actually a minecart system, and I'll tell you why. So the armor stand activation system that I had going, it was working great for a little while. It was awesome. I was excited to show you guys, and I left the chunks to go get myself some sand to make this bubble column you see right here, and I'll talk about that in a moment. And I come back and everything's all out of whack. Dispensers are on the wrong setting. There's water on the platforms when there shouldn't be. It was just a mess. The armor stands were bunched up. It was terrible. So I had to find a new system. So let's just say a little birdie told me they should use minecarts instead. Oh, I should probably mention, I don't know how this zombie got in the minecart. That was not on purpose. That something I don't really know how that happened. I have it lit up here. It's not in the lush cave biome. I don't know how he got up there, but I guess this is our dedicated guy that operates the farm for us. So after the mobs get flushed off the platform, I've put in this funnel system right here that kind of pushes them all over this way, and then they get pushed this way into this bubble column over here. And that's going to shoot them all the way to the surface. And it would be more efficient if I just killed them right here. But this thing's already producing a ton of drops, and I'm really not too worried about the rates. I just wanted this thing to be cool. Actually, I'm pretty excited to show you all the drops. I probably only ran this for maybe like 2 hours, and we're completely overflowed with drops. Double chest, double chest, double chest. You might notice some slime as well. One of the platforms are lit up because it's actually in a slime chunk. So I'm thinking we could probably have this thing have like a slime mode where I turn off the platforms where there isn't slime chunks, and then only the slime will be able to spawn, and we'll get a bunch of slime drops. Not too worried about that right away though, because look at all that. Got a ton of slime already, so that's not an issue. Now that I can show you this, probably thinking there's a much easier way to do this, where it's just like 8 long, and it's 3 by 3 like it is right here. Oh! No! I've actually died in this thing before, and it just like sprays all my stuff over here. It's pretty funny. But I built that thing that way up there, all complicated like that, because spiders were being an issue, and they were trying to climb the walls, and they were all over the island, pushing mobs that would fall into the killing chamber off to the side and stuff like that. And it was just really annoying. I could have built this thing taller, but I didn't want it to be taller than the Iron Mountain, so this just I had to find a way to fix it. So that's why that thing's all weird. Yep, and sometimes we still get some stragglers that still manage to get out, and it's really annoying, but luckily it's just spiders. As long as it's not zombies getting out, or creepers, I'm fine. As long as my build's not getting blown up, and my villagers aren't getting converted, that's all I'm really worried about. So, we're all good. And you're probably thinking, wow, that thing's ugly. It's not done. I was actually thinking about converting where they come out into like a creeper face, and I think that'd be pretty cool. It would match with the iron golem, and maybe I could throw in like a zombie face, skeleton face, spider face, and it could be like a mob Rushmore. I think that'd be pretty cool. Just extend off the Iron Mountain, make it bigger, maybe make it almost an actual mountain, you know? Yeah, I guess I'll make some progress on that, and I'll meet back up with you. Sorry about all the progress updates, but I really want to get this episode moving. Alright, I'll admit it. I decided to back out of the mob Rushmore idea. It was going to be way too big. I couldn't do it. It would have been so huge over just the killing part of this mob farm. And I've already been working on this for a week. It just... That was just going to be too mega for all this, so I decided to go with a waterfall instead. I hope you like it. I think it's pretty cool, you know? I used a bunch of the ores that I got down in the mines. I got a bunch of what they say is the rarest block in Minecraft. I got some right here, some over there, some up there. I think I got some more over here, yeah. So... I need somebody to fact check that for me, because I don't know if I believe it. I think there must be something more rare than regular diamond ore. But I like it. It's opulent. I mean, I guess if people are saying it's the rarest block in Minecraft, I mean, this thing's looking snazzy. Yeah, so I had to extend out the killing platform, and I did the waterfall the way I did it because of these freaking spiders. They are horrible. I'm still getting some stuck up there, but I haven't had any issues with any spiders escaping out here anymore. But oh my gosh, man, they're a nuisance in these things. Dang. uh, so yeah. I've got it to a controllable level now. Most of them are falling down there. The high majority of them, and they're getting killed. I installed a cobble wall across the wall down there to hopefully keep them from being able to climb up. You see that one's trying, but he can't. I got him stopped. Also, I had to create this big lip right here, even though it would have looked much better if I was able to terraform right there, but, you know, function comes first, so I had to make a sacrifice there, and the waterfalls just gotta look a little bit awkward, you know? But I think it came out pretty good. No way. That's not supposed to happen. It hasn't happened to me. No. What? I swear. Okay, I turn on the camera. I've been working on this thing for hours doing this terraforming. No issues. I turn on the camera, and of course, a spider gets out. Oh my gosh. But at least it's a lot more manageable now. I think it's at a point where I'm happy with it. Uh, I didn't complete everything that I wanted to do in this episode, and I'll explain why. So, this video has taken me well over a week to work on now, and I've just come to a complete stalemate in uploads because I'm working on this project. This project is huge, and it's just, I want to get on to making other episodes. I got other ideas, and I just can't have all my focus on this anymore. So I got a bunch of other smaller projects planned out, so you should expect a little bit more frequency in my uploads. I'm sorry that I've been gone for about 2 weeks. So I'll show you what else I was wanting to do. Of course, when I need to do the back of this thing, that's on the list. Also down here, let me just land right here. What I want to do is I want to terraform the ceiling. And I want it to be so where the water's coming out of the dispensers, I want those to be like big hanging flowers, like the kind you can find in the Lush Cave biome. I don't actually remember what they're called. Maybe flowering azaleas or something? I can't remember. But it's going to look like those hanging from the ceiling, and the water is going to come out of those. And it's going to look real sick. I'm going to light up the bubble column so you can see the mobs going up better. And I also want to build somewhere where you can enjoy the view of all these mobs being fleshed out from these platforms, which that would be really cool. And that's also where I'd want to move the storage for this mob farm instead of being over here, way down here. Oh yeah, and by the way, I had to move it because I extended out the killing platform. I had to move everything over a few blocks. So yeah, still completely filled up. I actually had to get rid of a whole double chest to move it over. I lost a bunch of drops and it just immediately filled right back up. This thing's ridiculously efficient. I thought this thing was gonna be pretty slow actually. since it's such like a weird farm. But this thing's killing it with the rates. But yeah, some things that I'm gonna need to work on is I'm sure you've noticed I haven't been doing anything with making my storage neat. There's a chest there, just random. I got my chest down underneath for the mob farm. I got my chest in the floor over here for the melon pumpkin farm. I got my giant chest monster right here. Just a bunch of random stuff. I'm not saying I'm going to do that next episode, but I promise it's not going to be all disorganized like it is right now much longer. I'm going to take care of it. I know it's an issue. It's like I'm not actually completing any of my builds. So I'll get that taken care of. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the episode. It was a lot of fun making it, even though it took me a really long time to make everything for this episode. But I'm excited for you guys to see it, so yeah. This episode took me a lot of time to make, so it'd really help out if you left a like, subscribed, left a comment. Anything helps. But I hope you have a great day. I'll see you in the next episode.